Computer out here.
At least you don't have an iPhone today. This one?
So this one's dead.
No, that one's not. This one is.
And thought maybe it would make it through the,
Yeah,
as much as I write.
I like black better anyways.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just a reminder to silence your cell phones. We'll start with roll call.
Mayor Sherman. Here. Councilor Horton.
Here.
Councilor Klinkhammer. Councilor Lundstrom.
Here.
Councilor Scalise.
Here.
Councilor Spradlin.
Here.
Councilor Tyree.
Here.
All right. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions or corrections on the agenda tonight? If not, I would look for a motion to approve.
Move we approve the agenda for the regular meeting of November 24th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Tyree.
Yes.
Councilor Horton.
Yes.
Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, approval of the minutes. Everybody's had a chance to read through the minutes of the last meeting.
Feedback.
We're getting a little feedback from your phone, Larry. Can you mute yourself for a minute?
You got it.
I'm listening to myself talk back to me. Okay. Any additions or corrections on the minutes from the last meeting? If not, look for a motion to approve.
I move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of November 10th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Councilor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Horton.
Yes.
Councilor Tyree.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right. We'll move on to visitors and delegations. Citizen comments. Citizens are invited to speak to council on any item that does not have a public hearing scheduled. There's a 5-minute time limit per person unless otherwise noted by the mayor. Please note that no formal action will be taken on any item that is not on the posted agenda due to the open meeting law provision. However, they may be placed on a future posted agenda if action is required. To better assist you with questions, please submit them in writing to the city clerk and someone from staff will respond. Do we have anybody here for comments? Go ahead and come on up. And you too? Okay. We'll let... Oh, you got a short one? Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. Just tell us your name and your address.
Name's Earl Folklore,
Okay.
344 Cars Bandit Drive, Rush. I'm on the board of the Rush Museum, and we're just wanting to invite the council to our Christmas party on the 12th of December. It's open to anybody, but we wanted to extend a formal invitation to y'all to Joanne's making chili. So if you've ever had Joanne's chili before, it's really good. So it's basically, we want to thank y'all for your continued support of the museum. Where we're trying to go down. So that's all I have.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you taking the time to come. I appreciate you taking the time to come with your personal invitation.
My pleasure.
And you brought candy canes too,
I
didn't
did.
you? Yeah.
I think so.
It's not right. No.
Thank you. All right.
I'm Margot Mesh, and that's my husband Larry behind me. We live at 340 Cambridge Street here in Brush, and we have for over 40 years. We've actually been in Brush longer than that, but I'm not going to tell how long it takes. I gave you a street map. I color better than that. Had I colored the map after I had actually looked at it more, I would have just done the areas that have the street. 2 weeks ago, I gave everybody a packet of the days that the street sweeper machine is used and plotted out only the streets that were done that day. Okay? On each part there, you can see on the packet that I gave you last week, or 2 weeks ago. So then I got the big map, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna plot it in and try to find a map that would show it a better way and more efficiency for that $275,000 piece of equipment. It just irritates me to no end that we have a piece of equipment that's not being utilized correctly, or is what I think it should be. And I equate it to being a farmer's wife, and if we had a $275,000 piece of equipment, we wouldn't let it sit or only do 2 or 3 blocks every day as a job for the month. So anyway, I did look online. I didn't want to have to draw the street and everything again. So I went online to the Brush website, and it gave me one for the street cleaner, or for the trash department. And that was sort of neat. It saved me a lot of time. So what I did was I took the one offline, this is the big one, my big one, and I made it bigger so you could see. And I did the same sections off the map that the trash department does. Okay? Now this trash department, let's see if I put, Monday they start on the east, then Tuesday they start in the blue. No, let's see. Monday starts at, let's try the orange. Orange is Monday, Tuesday is purple, Wednesday is the blue, and Thursday is the yellow. And the reason there isn't a Friday on there is because they do trash, or they do the recyclables on Wednesday. So they are working all the way around. So I just took the same street areas because our trash department does it on foot. And I think if a trash department employee can do that area on foot, a nice heavy piece of equipment should be able to do it the same, instead of doing bits and pieces over the whole month. So this would make it where every section is cleaned every week, just like every trash area is picked up once a week. And I've put some suggestions down on days, for example, where there's a special arrangement somehow with the city of Brush that the employee comes in from 5 to 3 on Mondays to do the downtown. And apparently it's also so that the individual can leave it earlier. And I think the day that the individual leaves early should be the only day that you can do maintenance on a piece of equipment. That way there's no out of work time. Mill Street West, clean the Bob Boulevard on the way to Jennifer Circle, on that Thursday and Monday. And also clean the south side streets to Howell. Schedule regular maintenance for the street sweeper again in the afternoon, so there's no downtime for the employee. If you start on Friday for the yellow area, after all the streets have been done, that street sweeper is set up to clean out grates and garbage. It's got a magnet on the back. I want to see it myself. I'd love to have it show me how to work it, because I'd love to work it. I may be 77, but by golly, I'd like to be able to work it. It has a magnet on the back of our machine that lifts that grate, so the big vacuum that is hooked on the back can be used to flush that out underneath in the pan, as well as suck the mess into the machine. If it is done that way, we save our city budget $40,000. $40,000. We hire another company to come in and do what that machine is capable of doing. If it's not working, it takes our trash department, they have to clear out to the Morgan County landfill. So you'll see trucks hightailing it out there because they close at 3. I know, we've tried to take things out and we'll just have missed them. So they have to empty by 3 or they're not able to start out work the next morning at 7. And if you're not there to pick up old lady and old man's trash on the day and the time you're supposed to, I can guarantee you, I get pretty upset. If we have water put in that machine, it can be filled down here. I don't know how much it holds or how often it would have to be filled with water. But by being central on the map, if everything comes down, this way to 34, that machine can be filled up out here, and I don't know how fast it fills up, but I think maybe 5-10 minutes is all it takes to fill that up. And I would really like and appreciate to have somebody log that. I'd like to know how much water it takes, how often it has to be filled, how often is the maintenance done on the vehicle, who takes care of the Zerks in the morning? You know what a Zerk is?
Sorry.
You know what a Zerk is?
Grease.
Yeah. It's a little attachment, looks like a little nipple or a pimple. Your attachment goes on and you can, if you've got a grease gun, you have to do it like that, and grease comes up and you fill it in every part so that they work correctly. And that may be the one thing that isn't done with the brushes or the brooms on the machine. Last Tuesday, I stopped to speak with somebody that was, I think, Neighborhood Watch, which I really appreciated. And I asked him how he liked his street cleaning. He loved it because every Tuesday, his street area was clean with brushes, water, and a center vac. Bob Boulevard, and 5 names coming out of that area. Every Tuesday, that's cleaned. It's supposed to be cleaned once a month. Now with this, everybody can have their streets cleaned once a week, and it makes our community look nicer. So anyway, it would be easy to fill up with the water. I was starting to tell you about going out the landfill. That's where the trash trucks have to go. But our sweeper goes out here by the fairground to dump. I don't know how many times a day, but I do know that there is water out there, and there's a pile of dirt. Because I went out to see if I could find where it was. Somebody told me out by 2 tanks going towards the fairground. So I think I found where it's being cleaned out. It has a hose on it, so it can be hooked up to that spigot out there, and it can be washed out easily, so that's not causing a hardship for the person that's doing it. If it's a holiday, I think it should be like trash truck. If it's a holiday, you double up the next day. Our trash department does that, and they bust their tail. So a machine that's being run should be able to do as much work as somebody working on foot. To me, that's just logic. I'd like to know what the warranty says on that machine. We have $8,500 budgeted for that, for repairs. It was $3,500 or something last year for a new machine. I want to know what that kind of money is being used for. The $8,500 was also for the year before we got the new one. There are things in the budget on that I don't understand. I'm a simple person, but I should be able to understand where the money is going. I know $40,000 is going to hire somebody else to come in and do what that machine will do. But that's not in the street sweeper budget. there are monies there that I haven't had an explanation for yet, and I'll try to come in and get them, on where $27,000 is, if that is for insurance for the individual and retirement and those kinds of things, it makes a $79,000 budget for that individual. And why are we taking money out of a department budget and putting it someplace else? I'd like an internal audit. I'd like to know, I think that's fair for our constituents here in the community. And I compare it to what we had to do in the classroom. I was a teacher here for 40 years. And I think about what we had to do in the classroom. We had to count for, why are we using this? What are we using it for? If you're not using it, you lose it. I think that probably goes true for the city as well. So people, you don't pad their budget. We don't use it, it's going to go down with next year. I've got a list here of the internal audit of things that I would really like to know. Somebody has to keep a log on a new piece of equipment. I want to know what the warranty says. And if we have a warranty, why are we having so many repairs? Last Tuesday, the machine that sat down here and it was broken. I don't know why I didn't come in and look, just, you know, but it was sitting there and 2 or 3 people told me it had quit working. And that was the day my husband and I decided we'd just go around and see how it was clean, and that's the day that I talked to the gentleman on Bob Boulevard. And somebody, you could tell it was a street sweeper, had dug a line, and you could follow the white trees in the road, going around the cars and everything. And I'm wondering what was being done incorrectly to cause that sweeper to be put in the shop. Again, that's a $275,000 piece of equipment. And that should not be how we take care of things like that. I'm a taxpayer. I love this community. It's nice that we're getting all this new stuff coming in. But by God, let's take care of what we have here first to draw other people to come here. And that's all I ask.
All right.
I do have things here.
I'll give these questions and see if we can get the department to give you your answers.
And I stapled a picture of the map off the website, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So I got the one of the city and sort of on there, but you can actually see the spots. It's not a large area that we're asking that machine to handle. And the days that the machine is not available, I say, she knows all the streets and everything, let her, she can be supervised by the trash department and help them, because sometimes they are just run ragged. And I think her help there would be appreciated. And that the trash department supervisor assist in having her do her job, or whoever does the job, instead of just doing it.
Right.
I think.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And have a good one.
Thanks.
All right, we will move on to management. We've got a resolution. Chris?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For your consideration this evening is resolution number 2025-13, appropriating additional sums of money to defray the expenses in the excessive amounts budgeted for the city of Rush. The supplemental budget is necessary as we received unanticipated revenues for the 2025 budget year, and also is necessary for us to authorize the spending of this new money and to allocate additional funds to cover the unexpected expenses due to the increased cost of supplies and services. The supplemental budget will amend the revenues for the 2025 budget to $28,830,790, which is an increase of $386,379. The supplemental budget will also amend the expenditures for the 2025 budget to $21,738,973. which is an increase of $579,329. That's what I have for you this evening. If you have any questions for me.
Do you have any questions? All right, can we get a motion? Resolution? Anybody?
Will we approve resolution number 2025-13 appropriating additional sums of money to defray expenses in excess of amounts budgeted for the city of Brush?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Counselor Horton,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, motion passes. Next, we have a PEX transmission easement agreement. Tyler.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. So before you is a resolution for an agreement and then a separate document, an MOU, that I'll give you the rundown on. I brought this to work session about a month, maybe 6 weeks ago. I'm just letting you know that staff had been working on this. So as a summary, and we've been working on this on a staff level for probably a year and a half or so. So with the Pawnee Power Plant to the southwest of us, it's an attractive location for electrical connectivity for a lot of the growing demands around the entire state, but specifically the region, and some of the demands, just the growing demands of our population around the state. There's a greater demand for electricity. And so Xcel Energy, among other power generators, have put out MOUs and worked out agreements with companies to provide additional electrical generation to tie into the grid. And so tying into the grid, the city owns a lot of land a few miles south of town that is very attractive to companies to want to get through. We've had numerous requests through the years for people wanting to pass through our lands to be able to connect to the Pawnee Power Plant and to the grid there. However, we're very protective of those lands because just south of that is our water field, our well field where our water source comes from. And we want to minimize impacts down there. And so in discussion over the time frame with the PEX company that's listed on the agreement, is that we requested of them a corridor study, which is something we've talked about with a few other companies, none of which were willing to go forward with that. These folks had. And that was to identify routes that have the least impact through the well fields for our intentions, for our needs, and then just environmental impacts as well. So a corridor study was done identifying a couple of ideal routes. We looked at those at a staff level and concurred with the results. And so the result is the easement agreement that's before council tonight. It's a non-exclusive 150-foot easement for a transmission line, again, a few miles south of Brush on city-owned lands. That's just north of our well fields. They are working with Xcel Energy on identifying a preferred route, and so there's two routes, one of which runs along the south side of those properties that are listed in the exhibits on that agreement. And then another one goes through a portion of our property, and then it goes north outside of our property, and will go across to the west and then go further north kind of around Pawnee. From a recent email, it looks like Xcel might be preferring the south one, straight across, which is the one that we prefer as well. It's less disruptive for a lot of different factors. If this does go forward, they are willing to pay the city of Brush. It's $350,000 per mile, and that long south one would be roughly 2.5 miles. You can do the math on that. So 350,000 times 2.5, and this would all be within the water fund as well. That payment is 10% within 45 days of the effective date, so the day that both of us would sign the agreement, and then the balance is within 30 days of commencement on the construction of that. The agreement before you is for 3 years with the ability for two-year extensions. And we do have an MOU in there that's determining which route can go. So essentially, depending which route, it can, the agreement accommodates either route for that to go forward. So the non-exclusive part matters a lot to us, going back to the corridor study. because we've identified this as the strip of land, so in the future, if anyone else wants to come, we've already established that easement, and once it's used up, then it's used up at that point. Theoretically, councils in the future could change that, but hopefully the idea is that this is kind of our path forward for all development going forward on this window that has, again, the least amount of impact on city-owned lands and looking out for our own long-term interests. The separate MOU in there, tied to the same agreement, it's for a purchase option that PEX does own on another property that the city is interested in, and they would be giving the option to the city, working with the intent of giving us the opportunity to obtain that property. The MOU does point to an intended definitive agreement on specific terms. In other words, the MOU is just a memorandum of understanding. It's not a firm agreement that we're going to move toward establishing a specified agreement. So that MOU expires the end of next year, or when a definitive agreement is executed, that'll have those terms a little bit more in detail. So that is the summary of that long, long agreement that you have in there. Is there any specific questions?
Have you guys, so this is the Prairie Ponds, right?
Correct.
That's where this is at. And so this one picture we got, it's Exhibit A1, and it's got what looks like might be a route.
Yeah, that's the northern one there. That goes just through a portion of ours, and it goes north of the Prairie Ponds and goes across there.
Have you guys talked to CPW about any of this with?
Yeah, as part of the corridor study, they did reach out to CPW to get their feedback and do their due diligence on everything as well. And so both routes are not disruptive to the Prairie Ponds, which is beneficial to the hunting and everything that happens out there.
I don't know, something tells me about a giant transmission line running through there might affect the way waterfowl lands and comes into a pond area.
Well, yeah, and the distance north of that is, on a map that size, it's hard to tell, of course, but it's a good distance away from the ponds themselves, yeah. But yeah, that was brought up in our discussion. If by that you're intending someone shoots a shotgun and hits a
Not so much
transmission line.
that, just the waterfowl having to navigate around a transmission line to get to the pond.
Yeah, and
So much for the hunting aspect of it, because that's easy to avoid.
Sure, yeah, and I guess the feedback that we got from Parks and Wildlife on the whole intention of it is that there wasn't any concern from them.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Tyler. Good explanation. All right, so I would look for a motion on this one.
I move we approve the PEX transmission easement agreement and the MOU.
Second?
Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Horton?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. That motion passes. Thank
Madam.
you. All right, finance.
I move we approve disbursements and payroll for November 10th, 2025 through November 24th, 2025, totaling $827.82.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Scalisi?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Horton?
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right. Staff reports. Tyler Purvis.
I think it's been 2 council meetings since I've been here, so a lot has happened in the community development department. So some of the major ones that everybody probably knows, but to formally make it known, Maverick Gas Station, they are open. They received their CO back on the 13th, so they are operating, which is exciting. Another business here in Brush, and of course, we hope to generate jobs, property tax revenue, sales tax revenue. And it's just overall, I think, exciting for the community to see development. So that makes all 3 of those developments there in the Armbar subdivision underway. We hope to have more coming soon. I don't have anything definitive on that, but there's a lot of land that's available. And the idea was that once we see a lot of these ones that are now open as kind of the anchor locations, that'll hopefully attract additional investment. Central School, we finally received all the engineering documents that we've been waiting for over 6 months from the engineer. no fault on the property owner. Engineer apparently was just busy back and forth. So we received everything that we need from them, so we did issue the CO on the second floor last week on the 19th on Wednesday. So if you see lights in the window or people moving in, they do have a green light. We quadruple checked all the boxes for phase 2, and so we're working on the permit for phase 3, which is the cafeteria area. We are also working with the Office of Just Transition on understanding the direction for the property tax assessments for the conversion for the Pawnee Power Plant, which is January 1st is when it's supposed to be up and running as a gas-fired peaking facility as opposed to a coal-fired generation facility. And then with those property tax assessments, any disparity from what it has been in the past to what it will be in the future. So if it was assessed here and then next assessment is down here, that gap that goes to all the different special districts and the impact, I'm understanding how that is supposed to work on the state level, because it does have significant impacts on every district that we have, not just the city. So we're working hard on that, and we'll be getting all the stakeholders together once I get some final things worked out from the director over there at the Office of Just Transition. We also received our 2024 annual loss control audit from CIRSA. Every year they come out and look at all of our different properties, and as well as look through all the documentation we have just to see how well we're doing on top of workers' comp and property casualty. They did commend us. There was a large reduction in both number and size of claims from 2023 and overall improved audit scores, so that's good. And then those scores can in turn be used for credits to offset some of the costs for any type of safety programs and training and even equipment that we might want to bring into the city. The Board of Adjustment met last week. They did approve 3 different variances in town. I don't often report on them for whatever reason, but just so you're aware, those happen where people want to do unique things with their properties that are outside of city code. So the answer is no, or you can go to the Board of Adjustment and make that request known to them. And so all 3 of those requests were approved, and they vary from setbacks to accessory structure heights and things like that. The Planning Commission will be meeting next month regarding Homestead Meadows on the west side of town and potential additional phasing or modification from a preliminary plan that was approved. And then Morgan County Makers Market, they have an event this Saturday. Small Business Saturday was created at some point because we all know about Black Friday for the big shopping day. And so Small Business Saturday was put together years ago nationwide as a way to encourage people to support their local small businesses. And so that day they're doing their market from 4 to 8 p.m. in the 200 block of Clayton Street. They have a few dozen vendors registered for that. So I've been to our small businesses before on Small Business Saturday. It's pretty low key, unfortunately. So hopefully this will generate a lot more foot traffic, not just to the market, but to our downtown businesses as well that day. And then they're planning on doing another one on December 17th, which is a Wednesday. And then a downtown tree lighting ceremony that the chamber is planning is currently scheduled for next Friday, the 5th, also downtown as well. And then lastly, week of Thanksgiving, I just want to thank personally council for all their continual support to city staff and the work that we do every day. There's always work to be done. There's always feedback and comments and complaints coming from the community. And not everything is definitely perfect, but we work and strive hard to serve our community well, and we can't do it without your support. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Chief Huxtailer.
Evening, Council Mayor. I'll be very brief. Most of my discussions for a work session after the fact. So Blue Santa went really well. We actually surprised Fort Morgan Police Department with the amount of monetary donations we got, and then some of the items that we received as well. So Centennial Manor, I should say, the Brush Housing Authority did give us a list of folks that they think would be beneficial for this. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing sorting, packing up, and delivering everything that we collected here. So I'm very proud of the fact of the people that from my agency that took part in that. They did really, really well, and I think if we continue to do this every year, we're going to kind of expand on it and continue to represent and get people the stuff that they need for the holidays. And again, in taking a turn off of Tyler's speech, I also want to say I thank our city council for what they do for the police department. It's nice to have a council that does back you and not have the concerns I see in other jurisdictions across the country. It is very beneficial to have folks in your position to have our back. It makes our job considerably easier to know that support is there. So I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Fire Chief Burek.
Just a couple items. So we were in Ohio last week for the inspection on the cabin chassis. Everything went well there. There was no issues with the cabin chassis, and they started production on the latter portion for the truck. Scheduled completion is the end of March. So we'll be going back out for final inspection in March. There is a possibility that they will ask to take that truck to Indianapolis to FDIC and show it on the floor for the big trade show. So if we get that letter, we'll pass it on, which would be kind of neat since we signed the contract for that truck on the floor 3 years ago. And then December 13th, we're doing our first ever award ceremony. So city council and their spouses are invited. If you could get me a list of who will be attending, it will be out at the Riverview Event Center. That'll be starting at 6 o'clock on December 13th. Other than that, that's all I have. If anybody has any questions.
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dale.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, Council. First, I just want to remind everybody, and I know that we've put the word out there on the website and social media, that with the holidays coming up, our current schedule for trash is the trash that would be picked up on Thursday, we're going to pick up on Wednesday. And so the recycling will be done first thing in the morning, and so we'll be doing the trash actual later on that day. So just be aware, and we've got the word out. This will not only happen for Thanksgiving, but also for Christmas, as well as New Year's, because they all fall on a Thursday. So that. Next, in 2 weeks, I will be meeting with CDOT on our intergovernmental agreement. Typically, we sign an IGA with CDOT for the maintenance of the highways, and as such, because we have the equipment and we're already out, and so we're talking snow removal, signage, sweeping, those types of things that we look for. And so if there's a big old pothole that shows up, we go out and fix it. Those type of activities, and so that'll be coming before you before too long. Last week I met with some representatives from the state that do recycling, as it were, and this is for styrofoam recycling, and so they'll be meeting on the 3rd with their funding agencies, and looks like maybe we'll be able to do some styrofoam recycling here. So that'll be great. So, because right now that's one of our biggest contaminants in our cardboard, is people will get something and they just stuff the styrofoam back in and then throw away the cardboard. Well, now we have a place for that outlet to go. Tomorrow our glass container will be getting dumped, so it'll be out for a little bit. So I just heard that today. Then, not to be a bearer of bad news, but this Saturday, when we're going to have the Makers Market, we're also expecting some snow, and no small amount. So
It'll be festive.
it will be very festive. And that 200 block of Clayton will be blocked off in order for this event too. So we'll get the word out for everybody there. And so again, right now our crews are getting everything ready, geared up. They've got most of the Christmas lights up, got pretty much the tree done, so now they're getting geared up, ready to go for this snow that's probably going to occur this weekend. So you get out there and get that done. There was something else I was going to mention, but that's it. Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you.
Dale.
Thanks, Doug.
Chris Oster.
Good evening once again, Mayor and Council. Just a couple of items. The front office staff has been busy preparing and mailing intent to lien letters to the delinquent customer accounts. the dollar amount of the prospective utility, yard abatement, and assessment liens total approximately $40,000. Our goal with the letters, of course, is to encourage everyone to bring their account current, so we do not have to lien them. We're required, of course, to lien by December 20th. So we're hopeful. We've already seen some of the customers come in today, so the letters just went out on Friday and Saturday. So but we are encouraged and hopeful that will continue. One other item, a bit of good news, we are moving forward with the transition to our new financial software. We recently entered into contract with Cassell Incorporated out of Provo, Utah. So I'm excited, nervous excitement as we step into this new project. Our goal is to begin the implementation process within the first quarter of 2026. So I'm excited to get that underway and move forward. So that's what I have for you this evening. Any questions for me?
Okay, great. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, Kim, HR.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mine is also brief as well. While I don't usually have items from the HR department I can report to you very often, I just wanted to let you know that the department's moving on as expected, and I'm always there for staff. And currently I'm working on year-end reports as well as open enrollment. Okay, any questions for me? Okay.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Phil.
Miranda.
Our next meeting will be on December 8th, and the second meeting of December is scheduled for the 22nd, but we typically don't hold that second meeting in December because of the Christmas holiday. We might be calling a special meeting prior to that week if needed. I just wanted to announce that. And then also we have a Brushopoly game down here on the cabinet that is now available down through the chamber. They designed it and they have it for sale, I believe, $30 for the game. So it's pretty cool. That's all I have.
Thank you. Dan Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing really to report tonight. I might be changing that if Monty, I might be piggybacking off Monty, but I'll let him start.
Okay. Guess he's passing the ball to you.
Okay, sounds good. Just a few short updates. Most everything else is on the work session, but Prairie Trails Park, that project is still ongoing, and there was a short break, but they're back at it again. And Lance, when he comes back to the next meeting, he'll give a more thorough update of exactly where they're at, but he just wanted to assure that everyone knew it was still moving on, so it hadn't totally stopped for the year. Also, the Recreation Department, they're going to have a resolution run on the 31st of December, but events start as early as 2:30 in the afternoon, then they run all the way up to midnight. So it's kind of a pretty full day of different events that they're going to have out there. Also, the crews today, I believe it was today, they were finishing up putting in some mulch on the islands in the 400 and 500 blocks of Clayton, I believe it is. And so those islands are dressing up. I know one of them was done for sure. I'm not sure if they got to the second one, but their goal is to at least get the mulch down. The weed guard is down, and then the mulch is down. And then they're going to do a little extra landscaping, but they're probably going to wait till the spring to do that. And that was not a planned project. It was just, we were looking at it one day and we go, it was pretty sightly looking, and we thought a little bit of money, we can make it look really good out there. For the library as well as the neighbors that live out there, so it should look pretty good. Also, the street crews, at some point, they'll get out there and there's a little bit of concrete work to do. If the weather holds, temperatures hold, they'll get that done yet this year. Then they're going to paint around some of the curb head out there also. The other thing, I think I mentioned this once before, but in case I didn't, the crosswalk area of the alley over on the Sunset bike path, that's the one between Howell and Princeton. That crossing there, it's looking pretty good. It's all concreted, painted, and Dale's still going to work on a little bit of signage there. And there's a potential of us putting in a speed bump there to try and slow down the traffic a little bit. We just haven't. Well, we want to go step by step before we go all the way to that extreme. And then everything else is going to be on the work session. But on the work session, I was going to mention, we do have a stormwater presentation to the city council. The focus is our stormwater master plan, how we reviewed it, and we're looking at what other projects are going to be funded in the future or need to be funded. But there's going to be a short little bit at the end just talking about our operations stormwater. So you're welcome to stay for that if you choose, but it's going to be a little bit before we get to that. And it's a presentation to the council versus to the audience, but you're welcome to listen to that if you want more information. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mayor and council reports. Any councilors have anything to share?
Got nothing.
I will piggyback off of Tyler as well and thank our city staff during this Thanksgiving week because we really do have an amazing staff. And all the departments, I think, you guys are awesome. So thank you for all you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And next we have an executive session. So I need a counselor to read the first motion.
I move we go into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes, Title 24, Article 6, Section 402, at subsection 4B, for conference with an attorney for the local public body for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions. The matters to be discussed are legal updates.
And just note, it's probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes. It's not a long one.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
I mean, roll call vote?
Hey, you already said it.
I was ready to roll it. Sorry.
Missed opportunity to say.
Yeah, we better do it right.
Counselor Horton?
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Tony?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right.
Second, and I'll get us set up.
Here's my script.
Margot, thank you for this. You did a lot of work on this.
Well, I'm sorry that I colored all of it here, because you can see, I can see the streets in here that correlate.
All right. So we have a statement from Dan Trott. Yes.
All right. So I'll note, so for the record, the time's 7:05. We've just exited the executive session. I was present throughout. The scope of the discussions were within the scope of the statute. As the city attorney, the attorney-client privilege attaches. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, and we don't have anything to vote on, so I would look for a motion to adjourn and go into work session.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yay.
Pretty sure you can.
I can do it on that one.
Give me just a second.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna work it in wherever.
Just
None of
mix it
us
up a
questioned
little
it, we
bit.
just went on with it.
Dan's looking at me like,
What did you do?
what are you doing?
All right, are we ready?
Let's roll.